Good day, learners! Today is a brand new day for more fun and exciting activities. I am your English teacher, Teacher Eyes. So, my dear learners, get ready with your pen, your activity notebook, and your module. And let's get it on!
Today's lesson is employing analytical listening in problem solving. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to A. Employ analytical listening in problem solving. B. Differentiate the types of listening. And C. Give reasons for doing analytical listening. Let's begin our lesson by working on the activity below. Taking notes of house rules. In this activity, you are going to study the pictures as well and answer the activity that follows in your activity notebook. And here is the script of a dialogue. Jane: well, it's a lovely room. Its size is just right for me. Alinsita: oh yes, it's a good-sized room and it's well furnished. Jane: yes, I can see that. Is there anything I should know? Alinsita: well, I don't allow the cat to go upstairs at all. Jane: oh, not at all. Aling Luz: absolutely not. I don't like cats upstairs, and I don't allow people to smoke in the bedroom. Jane: that's okay with me. I don't smoke anyway. Alinsita: I don't allow people to stick up pictures on the wall with tape. You see, when you take the pictures down, the scotch tape or masking tape leaves marks on the wall. Jane: oh, I see. Can I use thumbtacks instead? Alinsita: oh yes, something like that. But do not use big nails. They leave holes on the walls. Then if you go out, please remember to close the window. Jane: right, I'll do that. Alinsita: and there's a kettle for you to boil water in. Place it on the floor and not on the chest of drawers or cabinet. Jane: I know. It will leave a mark, especially if it is hot. Is there anything else? Alinsita: one last thing. Please keep your room tidy. Hang your clothes and see to it that your books and papers should be on the table or shelf. Jane: all right, Alinsita. I'll try to remember all you told me. And now, identify and list down the rules given by Alinsita which have not been followed. Are you done? Now let's move on to our next activity. Task 2, true or false. Read the sentences carefully. Write true if the sentence is correct and false if it is incorrect. Are you done, learners? So now, let us check your answers. The answers for numbers 1 to 5 are all true. Congratulations, learners! And now, let us have another activity. Here are some classroom activities. Decide which are listening activities and which are not. Letter A. Learners respond orally to a written exercise. Letter B. The teacher tells a story. Letter C. A student asks the teacher a question about the meaning of a word. Letter D. The teacher conducts a drill with the class. And letter E. Two students carry out a pair work activity. And now, let us check your answers. For letter A, it is not a listening activity. For letters B to D, they are all listening activities. And for letter E, it is not a listening activity. Listening is attending to what you consider important. It is trying to get the meaning of what you hear. To listen successfully to spoken language, you need to be able to work out what speakers mean when they use particular words and particular ways in particular situations. The important thing about listening is getting the message and interpreting it. So why listen? There are 5 main reasons why do people listen. Number 1, to be able to engage in social rituals. Number 2, to get information. Number 3, to be able to respond to controls. Number 4, to respond to feelings. And number 5, to enjoy. How do people listen? Listening can be classified into several types, depending on how you pay attention to what is being said or heard. Marginal or passive listening, also called hearing or auditing. The listener hears the sounds often in the background but simply ignores them because he or she is engrossed in another task. Attentive listening. The listener focuses attention and shows interest in what is being said. He or she takes notes of the specifics and how they relate to the main points made by the speaker. Critical or analytical listening. In this type of listening, one has to decide on the truth of ideas, pass judgment on claims made, and make decisions on whether to accept what she or he hears, reject it, or take it with a grain of salt. Appreciative listening. This type of listening gives the listener the pleasure, maybe from the humor or the blending of voices in correct arrangements. Moreover, analytical or critical listening plays a big part of our everyday undertakings because it is all about the ability and the capacity to properly analyze what is being said. This is not only mean what the other person is saying and what they mean to say, but also being able to divide difficult questions into separate parts in order to get the core. It helps bring balance to a conversation and process the information objectively. Now, shall we have another activity? Okay, read the following statements carefully. Identify what types of listening activity they fall. Write your answer in your activity notebook. Number 1. Enjoying the music played over the radio without understanding the words. Number 2. Discussing a problem that is described orally and writing down a suggested solution. Number 3. Interpreting implied information, attitude, and intention. Number 4. Getting the gist of a talk. 5. Paying attention selectively and constantly, varying the level of attention while engaged in other tasks simultaneously. 6. Rewriting the listening text in different works, either in the same language or in another translation. 7. Performing actions in response to instructions given orally. 8. Making judgments about which content to select for remembering. Number 9. Interpreting music through dance. And number 10. Identifying a general topic or information given in a listening text. Are you done, learners? Now let us check your answers. And here are the correct answers for this activity. Number 1. Appreciative. Number 2. Critical. 3. Attentive. 4. Critical. 5. Marginal. 6. Attentive. 7. Critical. 8. Critical. 9. Appreciative. And 10. Attentive. Now, let us have another activity. Write your answers to the following questions in your activity notebook. Number 1, what is listening? Number 2, give at least 3 reasons for listening and give examples. Are you done? Now let's move on to our next activity. Listen to a passage entitled The Pain of Anger and do the activity that follows. Write it in your activity notebook. Here is the script of the passage. The pain of anger. Anger causes pain. It is usually expressed in hurting comments, cutting remarks, and sharp retorts. Many have been wounded by words or actions that have sprung from a heart filled with wrath. But the greatest pain is felt by the one who is overcome with anger. One day, as Leonardo da Vinci was painting The Last Supper, he became mad with a certain man. His temper flared and he lashed at him with stinging words. Resuming his work, he began to brush some delicate lines on the face of Jesus, but he was so upset that he could not continue. He laid down his tools and went to look for the man to ask his forgiveness. Only after he apologized could Leonardo go back and complete the face of Christ. Like Da Vinci, we are sometimes prevented from doing work effectively because of unresolved anger. We can overcome it by being reconciled to the one we have offended. His forgiveness will heal and relieve us from the pains of anger. Number 1. What questions come to your mind as you listen or read the title? Number 2. How does anger cause pain? Number 3. Who will feel the pain more, the angry person or the person he is angry with? Number 4. Is it just physical pain? Why or why not? Number 5. Do you think this is true in real life? And number 6. Can something be done about it? Are you done? Now let's move on to our next activity. Write this in your activity notebook. And for our last activity for this lesson, you are going to listen to the news broadcast on TV, particularly on the pandemic today, the COVID-19 issues. Then, answer what is asked for in the table below.
That's it for today, learners. I hope you learned a lot from our lesson. This has been your English teacher, Teacher I, saying knowledge empowers you. Keep safe, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.